tuning into Halton News right here on YourTV. It's Tuesday, August 11th, and I'm Jessica Kading. There are 4 additional cases of COVID-19 that have been confirmed in Halton since yesterday, bringing our total number of current active cases to 25. Burlington is still reporting 4 cases, but in Oakville, the number has spiked to 12 active cases. There are 7 confirmed in MILTON and 2 now in Halton Hills. Parents across the region need to decide whether they're sending their kids back to school in September, as the board needs to know how many students to prepare for in-school learning versus online. The Halton District School Board released their reopening plan yesterday. For more on that, I'll turn it over to their Director of Education, Stuart Miller.
Provincial government provided direction that all boards in the province had to follow, and part of that direction was all elementary schools returning with enhanced cleaning and protocols, health and safety protocols, such as wearing masks, grade 4 and above, etc., and so on, and providing PPEs for our staff, a couple of masks a day, and so on. So elementary school will return. It won't be quite as normal because the students will not be wandering the halls. It will not be going from class to class, or many teachers going from class to class, but they will be with their single classmates in a class for a day, for the day. So elementary model is pretty similar around the entire province. Secondary model is a little bit different because the province designated 24 boards. We are one of those 24 boards in which we had to come back with an adaptive model. An adaptive model means a decrease in the number of students in the building at any one time. And my superintendent, Terry Blackwell, is with me, and she can go over some of the specific details on that. But essentially, it's this. The students will be split into cohorts, or 2 groups. One cohort will be in class for a period a day, for 2.5 periods a day, or 180 minutes, actually. And they will get that class. And then they will go home in the afternoon and get online learning, synchronous learning, which means live teaching with their other 3 courses. The following day, the other group of students will come in for their face-to-face class, and the other ones would be having asynchronous learning in the morning, in which they'd be doing their assignments and homework, etc., and so on. So that's essentially it. Along with protocols, all students will be required to wear masks. There'll be no wandering the halls as usual. Sports are not running. Extracurriculars are not running. So it's going to be quite a dramatic change for the students when they return to school.
It seems parents and students alike still have many questions they'd like addressed before making their final decision. To help with those concerns, the Halton District School Board has answered frequently asked questions on their website. I also asked Terry Blackwell, Halton District Superintendent of Education, to go over some of those with us here on Halton News.
We spent a lot of time yesterday responding to a lot of questions, and we put an FAQ up on our public website based on some of the questions that parents had, and thank you for submitting them. It gives us a lot of opportunity to make sure that we address the questions and are able to make sure that our communication is what parents need to make the decision whether or not they're going to send their kids back. So some of the questions very much around what happens if a case of COVID occurs in a school. And that protocol that we've shared with our staff is also shared directly with families. They see the steps that are taken. We continuously connect with public health in terms of our planning and our processes. A lot of questions around the secondary model. As Director Miller mentioned, it's not business as usual in secondary. It's very different. And I just want to clarify that the first week when students are in the cohort A group would come Monday, Tuesday. And then the cohort B group would be in on Thursday and Friday, and then Wednesday as an alternating.
Terry Blackwell goes on to explain that you can currently find a video on hdsb.ca that explains the plans for the return to high school in Halton in greater detail, complete with sample schedules to review. There are more videos still to come as well.
The other thing that we are going to do is we're going to create a video for families, for elementary students, and then we'll have a separate video for secondary students where we'll make sure that we provide a look at what school will look like when you come in. You know, as we will have our staff, we'll have masks and face shields on. So we want kids to see that, you know, our staff is ready for them. We're excited to see them. And all of the pieces that are in play in the schools, staff will help them and walk them through that, and are really excited to see them. The other thing around the contact tracing piece, so parents have questions around why are we doing cohorts of 15, for example, or why do classrooms in elementary, why are they staying together? And a big piece of it is in working with public health, and parents will know this from their knowledge of the virus, is that contact tracing is very important. So if we restrict the number of students that are together, then should a case of COVID present itself, then it's very easy to trace and identify the people and contact those people as needed.
I then asked for a clarification as to what happens if a child or teacher is suspected to have contracted COVID-19.
It would start at the self-assessment piece, and I would strongly, this is a community commitment to really being aware of what those symptoms are, right? So we're asking families to acknowledge a daily assessment process, self-assessment process. And so if a child were to come to school, we're asking them not to come, and we're asking staff not to come. If they're not feeling well or are exhibiting any symptoms, they would go and receive a test. Public health would notify us if there was a positive case, and public health is the person that would do the communication. So they would determine, in a classroom we have seating plans, and on a bus we have bus seating plans, so that we know within who's sitting or who's within 2 meters of a child or of an adult, and they'll make direction based on the situation. So, these people are experts in contact tracing and following the protocols. It may be a group of students or a small cohort within 2 meters that may not be at school, but it may be a class, and it would depend on the number of cases. So we know that we will have, we're a large board. We will probably see COVID, and we have responses ready to go, and we have processes in place. And as I said, families have that available to them. It's public on our website. We think that it's important for them to know, and we'll be told to communicate with families accordingly.
The Ministry of National Defence has awarded a MILTON company a subcontract to support the construction of armoured combat support vehicles. We spoke with Milton MP Adam Van Couverden, who says this is fantastic news for the local economy.
There's a great company here in Milton that maybe a lot of people don't know about. It's called Parker Division Canada. They do all sorts of stuff, and I admit that before hearing about the announcement, I didn't know much about the company, so I looked it up. And they create all sorts of different products. And this $3.5 million project is going to support 10 local jobs, high-end jobs, and they were selected because they can create vehicles with hydraulic and pneumatic capabilities. So there's actually 8 variants of the vehicle that they're going to be producing, and this is with national defense. So these vehicles will come in 8 variants: ambulances, vehicle recovery, engineering, mobile repair, troop carrying, command posts, all sorts of different vehicles that'll be produced right here in Milton. And $3.5 million indicates to me that these are well-paying jobs, and this is a contract that's going to go a long way in ensuring that Milton and certainly Halton's resilience is strong. And this is a high-tech type job, which are very, very sought after here in town. Every little bit counts, but also this is just one announcement, and gratefully we're getting announcements regularly just like this. So just awesome to see job creation happening here in Milton, and reinforcing what I've been saying all along is that I think Halton is uniquely positioned to be resilient through COVID-19, and I really do think our unemployment numbers are better than the rest of the countries, but that's no reason to take our foot off the gas. We're doing very, very well here in Halton, and I hope that we can continue to do well.
The library has officially reopened. We are weeks into stage 3, and Halton Hills Public Library has reopened completely, but with some modifications. Melissa Candelaria explains.
The Halton Hills Public Library is a welcoming distraction for residents who are finally able to come back and enjoy the facility once again. Manager of Community and Adult Services Beverly King says the staff is just as excited as their visitors.
We've had so many conversations with and questions from the public on when they could get in to browse. So it was great. You could come and pick up your holds, but the fact that you can now come in and browse and pick what you want off the shelf, and you can come in and use our spaces in our study rooms. Creativity Center is open downstairs for the adults, as well as the computers. So we're just thrilled that people are actually in, and can't believe how many people have been in today. It's been fantastic.
With the library being fully open, King says there are measures in place to ensure safety.
The first and the most important thing is when you come into the facility, there is an ambassador there to greet you right at the door, and they have a screening protocol in place, pre-COVID screening, and it's also about contact tracing. So if you have been here, you get informed later. If there has been an outbreak, you'll get that information so that you know that you should be tested as well. That said, once you come in, there is a QR code for a quick and easy scan. There's also a website, so you can do the pre-screening before you arrive, and all you have to do is show your phone and show the little check mark. And then once you come in, masks, I have mine here as well, but they are mandatory within the building according to the region's bylaw. So we do have masks for anyone who forgets, but a limited supply.
The library also has signage and markers in place to encourage social distancing and hand sanitization. Meanwhile, if you're wondering about signed out items, well, King says they have implemented quarantine measures for that too.
All of those materials that are returned in any of our book drops are quarantined for 72 hours before they are checked in. And then any items that are used in-house, where you've actually sat down to read them. If you've just browsed an item and picked it up and put it back on the shelf, that's fine. But if you've actually decided to sit down and read a magazine or a book, then we have quarantine bins located through the branch, so where you can put that in there, and then those bins are collected at the end of the day. All the items in those bins are collected and quarantined as well before they're put back into circulation.
Despite the extra work having to modify protocols in order to open safely, King says it's all worth it. She says the library is more than just the materials they lend.
They are connecting people. It's about relationship building and community building, and it's been so awe-inspiring to see the support that we've had throughout the closure, and that people are so grateful to be back.
And that is certainly true for these library fans.
You're excited? What's so exciting? That it's opening up a little bit.
What about you?
My name's Alina, and I'm really excited because I love reading and it's so fun.
What do you like about the library?
I like reading because I like playing with the giant robot because I like it.
Reporting for Halton News, I'm Melissa Candelaria.
The Oakville Community Foundation has launched their Charity Small Business Partnership Program with $100,000 available. It allows local charitable organizations to apply to the OCF for money to purchase goods and services from Oakville small businesses. I asked the CEO of the Oakville Community Foundation, Wendy Ranella, to provide us with more information.
Thanks very much, Jessica. I'm very delighted to share that this fall, in response to the end of the state of emergency, the Oakville Community Foundation will be distributing over $350,000 into Oakville charities. $250,000 of that is from our resiliency fund, which will go towards our Give Oakville campaign. Last year, we encouraged the community to help fund Give Oakville, and we'll be doing that again this year. We've put $250,000 of that $350,000 into Give Oakville, and then we have another $100,000 that we're going to be distributing to charities who have partnerships with small business. So we know for many years charities have relied on small business partners, either to make meals that they're distributing to vulnerable populations, to provide them with service professionals, to buy goods and services from them. So we're trying to support the local economy by keeping our grant dollars local so that both the charity and a small business can be supported at the same time. And that application, both those applications are due at the end of August, and charities can make their applications, can make an application to both programs. So they can apply for up to $25,000 to our Give Oakville program. And if they're looking for food funding from the Small Business Partnership, they can apply for $5,000. And they can also apply for $10,000 if they're looking for a professional service provider or goods and services. And we're very delighted that we have a number of exceptional partners helping us with that, including RBC, Ford, Henderson Partners. So we're really delighted to have them all on board supporting this initiative.
All the applicants will be showcased to Give Oakville, and at that point you can participate as well and help raise funds for the charity of your choice directly. For more information, please visit theocf.org. Still ahead, multiple COVID-19 cases reported in Muskoka, brought there by visitors. More on that ahead. Welcome back to Halton News. Many of us in Halton enjoy visiting the Muskoka region, but with visitors coming there from all over, COVID-19 had the chance to spread at a local resort there as well as a restaurant. James Bowler reports from our Huntsville station.
One of Muskoka's biggest tourist attractions is reporting a recent brush with COVID-19. Deerhurst Resort was recently informed by the Simcoe Muskoka District Health Unit that a group of individuals who stayed there recently tested positive for COVID-19. During his weekly briefing, Dr. Charles Gardner with the Health Unit confirmed 11 people out of a group of 30 that had come to Muskoka for the Civic Long Weekend had recently tested positive for the virus. Resort General Manager Jesse Hamilton says he's working to ensure there's no spread of the virus to guests, staff, or the community. This information comes just a day after YourTV Muskoka was able to confirm a COVID-19 infected individual had also visited Three Guys and a Stove on Sunday of that long weekend. Dr. Gardner confirmed on the call that he was part of the same group at Deerhurst. All 22 staff at that restaurant have been off work since Sunday while they await test results along with owner Jeff Sotheby. The server who attended to the infected visitor has gone into self-isolation while awaiting their own test results. So the question is, why are we not seeing these numbers reported from Muskoka's health unit? The 11 infected do not show up on recent COVID-confirmed cases for our region. Dr. Charles Gardner says it's a provincial protocol issue he's currently advocating to have changed.
We get reports that are positive based on where people live, and so the majority of individuals testing positive that live elsewhere, we wouldn't hear about it, would just go to those health units. When we have heard about it, it's been in error that we've heard about it. So the data I've been able to give you before was incomplete data based on the reports that were erroneously sent to us that we then had to forward to the health unit in question where they live. So it really comes down to the province making this information available to us. I'm making the case now that they do so. I can see the value of it, as you've argued. I would point out in the situation that we're dealing with right now, we wouldn't have had any of that data because those individuals were not tested here. They were tested back in their home health unit.
Another hot one out there today. Here you can see a kayaker enjoying the day on Lake Ontario. Lots of sunshine in our 5-day forecast. Tomorrow's high of 29 will feel more like 33 when considering the humidex, and the UV index will be very high at 9. Reaching that same temperature again Thursday afternoon, but with a mix of sun and clouds during the day and cloudy periods at night. That mix of sun and clouds is expected to return each day throughout our forecast, with cloudy skies each evening. For those of you looking forward to the temperature cooling down a bit, you can look forward to Sunday, and it's looking like some rain is starting over the weekend. While summer may look a little different for you this year, YourTV wants you to share your summer. Head over to YourTV Halton on our Facebook page and comment with a picture of what you're doing this summer. You could win a weekly prize pack or even a grand prize of $500 to support a local business. Remember to tag Share Your Summer. And now let's take a look at how some of Halton's top companies performed on the markets today. We'll be back with the latest from the Burlington Food Bank after this. Welcome back to Halton News right here on YourTV. I'm Jessica Kading. After the Burlington Food Bank saw a leveling off period, demand has recently started to spike again. With today's update, I'll turn it over to their Executive Director, Robin Bailey.
I was just going over the Daily Bread Food Bank's report on some of the things that have happened to them in COVID, and recognize that we're going through some of the same issues, especially the struggles that some of our clients have with mental health. As well, a number of our clients are on ODSP and have some exterior health issues that kind of complicate things for them during COVID. And so we're really glad that we've been able to assist them with the food, and especially that food banks kind of changed how they did things. One of the things that we changed as food banks was started to add a lot healthier foods. We talk about our produce a lot. It's because we really take great pride in trying to produce a healthy diet for people, so that even though they're having to use our services, they're still getting healthy food that helps them to feel better and helps them to be able to function a little bit better. In reviewing that report as well, we really want to stress for people that are struggling with mental health that things are starting to open up and you're able to get the assistance that maybe you weren't able to get to before. Make sure you're contacting your local doctor and make sure that you let them know that you could use that extra help right now, and they'll be able to make the referrals that you need. Again, we just are really thankful that we're able to assist the community of Burlington. If you need our help, email us info@burlingtonfoodbank.ca or give us a call 905-637-2273.
Oakville Ready is hosting a contactless food drive in support of the Kerr Street mission. It'll take place on August 13th, and they're asking for your support. The most needed items include canned items like canned vegetables, fruit, mixed beans, meat, and fish. You can also bring pasta sauce, flour, rice, and toiletry items. For more information, please visit oakvilleready.ca. Arts Milton is once again hosting their Summer Days, Summer Night series featuring local musical talent. In total, 12 curbside concerts will be put on by the town this month. The next one is scheduled for this Thursday, August 13th between 7 and 8 p.m. The Wait Band will perform at 650 Childs Drive, on Booseville Crescent and Cul-de-sac and McNaughton Court. For more information and all of the concert dates, please visit artsmilton.com. I'd like to thank you for watching us here tonight. We'll be back with another edition live tomorrow night at 5:30. Until then, you can find us on YourTV.tv. You can also follow us on social media at YourTV Halton on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. For Halton News, I'm Jessica Kading, and I thank you for watching.